Coming up, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of Monsters at Work. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on these very first 2 episodes of Monsters at Work. The first episode will be arriving on Disney Plus on Wednesday the 7th of July, with new episodes dropping every Wednesday afterwards. There are 10 episodes in this series. I'm going to say, if you liked Monsters Inc., you're going to love this series because it's pretty much just a continuation of the movie, taking place merely hours after the events of the last one ended. So Mike and Sully are now in charge of Monsters Incorporated, and they're basically tasked with converting everything over to Laughing. You know, now they realize that Laughing is much more powerful than streaming. They kind of bring in a whole host of people. Now, unfortunately for Tyler, who is a brand new recruit straight out of college, he's going in there kind of, I'm going to be the big scarer. I've hit all the tasks. I've beat all of Sully's records. I'm going to be the big new chief. And he kind of goes in, and then he realizes they don't want scarers anymore. They want laughers, they want jokesters, and so therefore he's going to have to learn a whole new skill set. He starts off at the bottom with a group of misfits that are all kind of just basically going around fixing things, though I'm not entirely sure they're fixing a huge amount. And so that brings us in with a new bunch of characters. Now, if you're worried about not seeing enough of Sully and Mike, they are in it. They appear randomly throughout the first 2 episodes that I've seen. I was worried that they might just be a cameo, but no, they seem to be definitely be main characters. No, they aren't the main source of this one. John Goodman and also Billy Crystal return to do the voices. We also see other characters as well from the movie. And I think that's definitely a key thing with this one. It is very much a continuation of that movie. And there is sort of some good and bad sides to this. On one hand, it's great that the series does continue on and it looks very much like the movie. You know, I really was struggling to sort of look at it and go, well, it doesn't look bad. But then you got to remember, Monsters Inc. is now a 20-year-old movie. So they've essentially just made a TV series that looks like one of the best movies they made, but from 20 years ago. So the technology-wise, I think sort of the Disney television animation who are making it, because Pixar aren't, have kind of done a very good job in recreating that. And therefore, they're kind of basing it on all this old technology, so therefore it doesn't look out of place. You know, if they were trying to do like a series based on Soul or Onward, it's very much harder because everything looks so much better. So I've got to give them credit for that. I do think actually it does look a lot like the movie, and I think that is a good thing moving forward. But ultimately, I watched the first 2 episodes and it was on the lines of, did we need this? No, we don't need it. It's just more of the same. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I enjoyed the episodes that I watched, and I will be checking out future episodes. And I think kids are going to love it. And I think it's going to bring a whole new generation to love these characters. Monsters Inc. is always kind of in the trending, kind of moving in and out. So I think there's a lot of love for these characters. I think existing franchise lovers are going to enjoy this series as well. Though I really have to say, this just feels like a continuation. In the same way that, like, when Disney used to make TV series based on, like, cartoons, like, you know, we had Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, Hercules, we've seen the Lilo and Stitch series, we've seen this in the past where they make TV series based on the movie, and that's kind of how you got to look at this one. It's not, it's not top tier, but when you think that this was one of the first Disney Plus original series to be announced, you know, it did bring a lot of excitement around it, and I think there is going to be a lot of people checking it out and kind of going, oh, it feels very samey to the movie. It's just nothing really has moved on. It's just more of the same. That's not a bad thing. I think that's what people are going to expect. But just go in with the expectations that this is a series based on a movie. I think the new characters are going to take a little bit for us to get used to, but I think we'll get used to them as we move on with the episodes. At the minute, there's not really any conflict. They've not really kind of gone down the whole villain side. There is one that's introduced, but it's very, very weak. But just as a whole, I think we would all probably admit that we'd all like to see more of Mike and Sully and less of all these new characters. I think we would have much more preferred that. But I can see why they did that. They're kind of protecting those characters a little bit and keeping them where they are. But hopefully we'll see more of them in the upcoming episodes. So I would expect we'll probably see less of them and more of these new characters as they kind of usher in this new generation. But overall, a really solid series. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think if you're going into this with, like I said, your expectations a little bit lower, expect this just to be like a TV level, kind of what you maybe watch on a Saturday morning. I think that's it better than that. But ultimately, it's not kind of top layer Disney Plus. You have to have Disney Plus to watch it. You know, this is a must watch. It's just a lot of fun. And I definitely think this is what Disney Plus needs. We need more animation. We need more stuff for kids to watch. This is definitely a premium channel show. But ultimately, it's still just a kids' TV series. There's nothing really here, I would say, that's going to be like, oh, adults are going to want to watch this. It's just kind of more of the same. And that's not bad. but it's also not groundbreaking either. I personally give this a 4 out of 5 based on the first 2 episodes. I think the first one was obviously a little bit stronger because they kind of want to hit the point home, and that the second episode will then be coming out on the 14th of July. But I definitely feel like people are going to enjoy this one and going to be excited about it. But like I said, just go in knowing what you're going to be seeing in this one. It's maybe not top tier. That's the only thing I can say, really. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with this series. There was nothing in this show that I sort of sat there and went, I really don't like that. It was just more of the same. It didn't kind of make me kind of go, yay! I think a lot of people will maybe go, well, give me a bit more boo, but it is very much just a continuation of the movie. I'd almost say a straight-to-video movie this would have been. Had it been released 15 years ago, it would have just headed up straight to there and probably wouldn't have headed up to cinemas. But nevertheless, that's not a bad thing. But let me know if you're excited about Monsters at Work in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.